Thanks for returning it, lad.
Welcome back, creeps and creatures. How you doing, Chris?
Oh, my little Irish heart just is so excited now.
It's too bad you can't get that Irish accent down.
Well, I'm German, so...
Well, unfortunately, your brother, who is just way too scared to come to this movie, because he does a really good Irish accent. And Cream, too, but y'all too scared. Couldn't show up is what it was.
No.
Yeah, we're back with another episode on Way Too Spooky. What better movie to do in March to celebrate our Irish heritage than the classic 1993 smash hit, Leprechaun.
Oh, yeah.
I liked it. I mean, of course, I've seen it years ago, but I revisited it for the first time in a long time.
It's been a while since I've watched it,
yeah.
But I've always liked this movie. I know, I shouldn't say I like it. I actually despise this movie, but at the same time, I like it a lot. It's got a lot of... There's no other movie quite like it, you know?
No, I think it was the first of its kind.
It was. I mean,
there's not too many Irish horror movies, except for Halloween 3. Oh, so, did that just fall out?
We're good. So...
It's that sneaky-ass leprechaun in it.
He just wants his gold. He just wants his gold.
That's all he wants.
Yeah, so, no, it's one of those movies that I think it plays on sci-fi every year.
Yeah.
Like, all day on St. Patrick's Day, which is... great. It's almost like Halloween, but
yeah,
a much lower budget, lower scale type quality movie. But it's something to look forward to if you like scary movies.
Yeah, I remember enjoying this when I was younger. I just never really rewatched it so many times, but I probably saw it on like Fear Fest. No, yeah. Actually, I don't know if it was playing on that. I think it was probably just playing around.
They just typically play it this time of year. It's something. This movie makes me uncomfortable, and I can't figure out why. All I can do is like almost explain it, maybe I guess, but like. It's one of those, you feel like you shouldn't be watching horror movies this time of year. It's like, it's March.
Yeah.
But it's like, as I've grown older, it's like I kind of look forward to it because it's just like St. Patrick's Day is for me. To me, it's kind of my unofficial end of winter. You know, it's kind of like, it's like
starts to flicker and get a little warm out.
Yeah.
We've had some warm St. Patrick's Days.
We have, yeah. They've had like 70-degree ones before, I think.
What better time to drink dark beer outside? On a nice 75-degree day.
Yeah.
No, but this isn't just a horror movie. This is actually Irish history, Chris. So,
it is.
Those leprechauns run around everywhere.
Irish history at its best.
Yeah,
so the Leprechaun is what we're talking about. It's the movie. This 1993 Leprechaun.
You got some facts on it. One that always stands out to me. This was Jennifer Aniston's first big role.
It was. You know, one of the best facts about this movie with Jennifer Aniston is that she's been quoted as expressing... complete embarrassment
disdain. They all do
over being in this movie. But you know, I have as a hardcore horror fan, she shouldn't be embarrassed.
She should be embarrassed about Friends.
Yeah, you know, it's like
the show that made her $1 billion, but whatever.
This was a stepping stone. That she might not have ever gotten on Friends if she had not been in this movie. You don't know that.
Like, why did they think? Well, I think she was born into Hollywood. I think her dad was an actor.
Oh, what was he?
So she probably thought, why should I have to do this garbage movie? Before I get my stepping stone to something better.
So she plays the lead character, Tori, in this movie.
She was cute in this.
She was cute. I don't really understand, I guess, the dad. Is that her dad in that?
I think she was like a Valley, like L.A. girl.
And they're just turning his hopeless.
It sounds like either the mom died or was divorced, and I think he wanted a simpler life. So he bought it was probably like the hills of like outside San Francisco.
Well, he bought
country.
Wait. You got to back up for just a moment with this movie. First off, is that this is a part that I think you should probably get into. Being Irish that you are, but was it Danny O'Grady?
Mr. O'Grady owned this country house out in the rural hills of California.
Right.
And he comes home hammered, drinking a bottle of Jameson,
just like every Irishman.
Yeah, and he was rich. He got his bag of gold, and I learned a lot about leprechauns in this movie. It kicks off right away. There's not like a long suspenseful build up to like the leprechaun.
No.
They just start fucking around with each other right away, and So this leprechaun wants his gold back, but Mr. O'Grady's not going to give it to him. So this leprechaun shows up, and he's ruthless. He's like small and he's evil. But it seemed, I think there's an untold story because I don't know if you caught the line where he goes, "That's not part of the rules." There's like a game being played.
I can't figure it out. I mean,
well, it's like Mr. O'Grady knew that's kind of like, I guess it's this ancient like folklore, Irish folklore or something, that there's something with leprechauns. Like there's certain rules that they were supposed to abide by.
You're not supposed to steal from a leprechaun, basically, is what we're learning here, because all he wants is his gold.
Just let him have his fucking gold.
Similar to how Halloween Ends was, is if I forget it, Corey had purchased the beer for the band geeks, the movie would have been over.
Oh yeah.
If Mr. O'Grady had just given his gold back,
this
movie would have ended before it even began.
Yeah.
But so Leprechaun though winds up killing Dan O'Grady. O'Grady?
Doesn't matter. It's some dumb Irish name.
He doesn't kill him. He kills the wife, pushes her down the stairs.
Yeah.
And then causes a heart attack or a stroke for O'Grady.
Well, the leprechaun says you're going to have a stroke or something like this. So I don't know if he had his magic powers and he gave him a stroke.
Yeah.
But that's what happened. But he was able, before he had a stroke, Mr. O'Grady pinned him into like this box downstairs.
In a crate, yeah.
In a crate. We shot him a few times first. Then he picks him up. He puts him in there. I learned something that what kept him inside that crate was a 4-leaf clover that he put on top. And he held it up to him like he was going after him. I didn't realize leprechauns hate 4-leaf clovers. It's kind of like their cross to a vampire.
Yeah, it's like the kryptonite of Superman.
Maybe I should have known this. I had no idea. I thought they would like love 4-leaf clovers.
There's a lot to learn about leprechauns in this movie.
The most I know about leprechauns was really just from Lucky Charm commercials.
Yeah. Well, and they actually do. They do have a few points in that movie where he mentions or they reference Lucky Charms. He takes a bite of them. And he just thinks they're disgusting.
Yeah.
But so Leprechaun is played by Warwick Davis, which is.
Oh yes, Warwick.
No. Warwick Davis is actually very.
I had a feeling it was Warwick Davis.
No, there's a lot of good stuff about Warwick Davis, right? He was Wicket in the Star Wars franchise. He was the oh gosh, what are the name of those things? The Ewoks.
Yeah.
He was also in the Harry Potter series.
Yeah.
He was obviously in this, but he's actually, I think, the 11th highest grossing actor of all time.
Yeah, especially at that time, it was kind of niche.
Yeah, well, he's in
there's always a handful of characters.
All the movies that he's in, they've grossed, I think, like $15 billion, I think I read. So he got like the 11th highest grossing, not starring,
right,
or lead, but he's actually in like the top 20.
Well, I think the Leprechaun was the lead in this movie. Probably not. It was probably Jennifer Aniston.
But I think in all movies, I'm saying Warwick Davis as a whole. But to round out the rest of the cast of people that at least I recognize, is there's the one guy who works for the three guys
painting. Yeah,
3 guys painting. Ozzy. He's
an idiot.
He's like slow. He's supposed to be slow, right?
Well, now I feel like a dick. Of course he was, but he was. I meant to say he's like a bad character.
Yeah,
it was just an awful character.
He comes back though in Leprechaun Origins, I think.
Yeah,
and I've never seen that one, but
I like how the dad hired this painting crew. That's the first thing they have to get done in the house. Mind you, the house is a wreck and there's dirt all over the outside.
And they're
of the house.
painting it like
red and blue.
Red and blue.
I was like, I guess that's what happens when you hire these guys.
Yeah. Now there's a lot of little references. I don't know if you noticed the little. Well, real quick back to the guy that plays Ozzy, who's like the slow guy. You may recognize him from. He was Gacy in one of the Gacy movies, like Ed Gacy.
Oh.
He was him. He was also Francis in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I?
And he was also Michael J. Fox's sidekick in Teen Wolf.
That's where I remember him from.
Yeah.
It's Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf, yep. So I don't know if he's been in anything else other than that. So I think I've seen all his movies.
Yeah, he was just stupid.
Yeah.
He was annoying.
And then you got the little kid, Alex, who, this is one of the little Easter eggs that I never picked up on as a kid, but as more recently watching is he's wearing a San Francisco's 49ers outfit.
That's why I knew what part of California it probably was.
But also I think it's supposed to be kind of like the 49ers were during the gold rush, right? Yeah. So I think it's a reference to gold, being that the Leprechaun's after his gold. So I think they were just doing that to kind of add on to a little bit of the lore of this movie.
I didn't make that connection. It's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah. There's the Steve Young years.
Yeah, so the little kid, though, he's the only other movie that I've ever seen him in is Rookie of the Year. He's one of the friends.
I thought I recognized him somewhere.
Excuse me.
You got a little curse of the leprechaun.
I do.
He pointed his ugly finger at you.
Because I swallowed one of his pieces of gold.
Yeah, he's going to come after you.
So you fast forward to Danny O'Grady. I keep getting his name. It's some Irish name. O'Brien, O'Grady, whatever.
Yeah.
He dies. Fast forward. Jennifer
No, he actually doesn't die. We'll get there, though.
Has a stroke.
But he ends up in the
Oh my gosh.
photo.
Yes.
The rehab center. They try to revisit it.
So Jennifer Aniston's crew shows up.
Yeah.
And her dad and the 3 guys painting. And they start to redo this house. And Ozzy hears a little voice, right?
Yeah.
Calling from the basement where the leprechaun was put in that crate.
Right.
And he pushes off the 4-leaf clover, and that's how the leprechaun gets out.
Yeah, I'm surprised it took the leprechaun. Remember, as soon as they walk down those steps, you see that fucking tarantula?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I don't think that's really common to that part of...
I don't know why he would ever pick that house to kind of like redo.
He clearly... This was before, I guess, you could just buy a home without checking it out. I'm like, you saw nothing. That spider, I would have been gone.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not sleeping in this damn home.
So all within that time frame, I guess, what the Ozzy and Alex, the little boy and the slow guy, they come across a bag of gold, which magically just appears in a car. I don't know if you recall that, but
it was the
rainbow.
Yeah, so it ended up at that end of it.
Okay, so what I don't really understand is how he manages to swallow the coin.
They didn't really show him do it because he's a moron.
I think I know how he literally goes like this, and he bites and it just goes down his throat.
Yeah, he wanted to see if it was real. But that was there was 100 pieces of gold.
Yeah.
And apparently that's all the leprechaun.
94. 95. 96. Oh, 97. And 98. 99. A missing coin. I've been tricked. They've got me coin. No one takes a leprechaun's gold.
It's 100 pieces of gold.
And they're just happy. Like, leprechauns don't buy anything with it. They just want the gold just to look at it.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't figure out. He gets the bag, the satchel back, and he goes and he runs off to count it.
Counts it. That's what he wants.
And he counts to 99 and he realizes...
Who stole me gold? that's all leprechauns give a shit about.
He is kind of
gold. Who has me gold?
As comedic as he is, he's actually kind of creepy.
Like it's like creepy big leather face.
It's his little legs too. Like they show this, they just show his little legs with his little like cobbler boots on.
Yeah,
and they're real quick. Like, if that thing was running at me, man, I'd be scared out of my mind.
This is why I was laughing watching it, because for the most part he just terrorizes. Yeah. Like he'll come in, he'll scratch your ankle, he'll rip your face, he'll do something, but then he laughs and he runs away. You hear him laughing. I was like, oh, this is just like it reminds me of like my son. It's like a 4-year-old boy who just comes in, starts shit, and then laughs and runs away. I'm like, this is the whole movie. I'm like, why don't you just finish killing them?
Yeah, it's just a big joke.
Because it wasn't a big kill count. We had talked about that. I think he only killed like 2 people in the movie.
Yeah, he kills the cop and he kills.
But he likes to play around more than anything.
He kills a guy with like a pogo stick. That's so embarrassing.
The guy he killed with the pogo stick was the guy who was appraising the coin.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's probably somebody he should have kept in his corner, but I don't think the leprechaun cared about the price. He just wanted me gold, is what it was.
I mean, what I have a hard time with this movie is that, look, it's not a quality movie by any means, but if he's really after his goal, like, the things that he's able to do, like get into a safe before it's even open.
Yeah, he's magical.
Just go grab it. Teleport.
I think that's his one connection towards real life is the physical gold. He can't just it's all about games. You got to figure out how to get to that gold.
Yeah.
That's why you have like the rainbow. Like, I don't know. They like tricks and games. That's what and riddles. Apparently that's what Irish people like.
I think that's what I like or dislike or it just makes me uncomfortable about this movie. It's just the way like they kind of like force feed you this Irish like BS. I don't know. It's like, is this real?
It's a garbage movie.
It is.
But I don't think there had been a Leprechaun movie before that of any kind.
No, but there were plenty after that because the movie became a cult classic, right?
Yeah.
I think it was made for like $1 million.
Yeah.
They made $8 million on the movie, so that's a pretty good return on investment. So they wind up making like 5 sequels with Warwick Davis in it. So I'll give the guy credit. He knew, like, he was making a decent paycheck on this. Didn't matter what the quality of the movie for him. He was the Leprechaun. And then they made like 2 more reboots after that, or remakes or whatever. So
yeah, they're spin-offs. I remember Leprechaun in the Hood more than anything.
I remember Leprechaun Back to the Hood.
Wait, did I say it wrong?
No, In the Hood is the first one, and then it goes back to the Hood.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It goes Leprechaun 1, 2, and 3. They're just the standard, increments of 1.
Yeah.
And then 4, he goes to space.
Yeah.
Which it took till the 10th movie of Jason to go to space. Leprechaun goes to space after 4.
It's magical.
Then he somehow comes back, decides to go to the Hood with Ice-T.
Okay.
And then he goes back to the Hood.
Well, there's only 2 places you can go as a Leprechaun. It's space
and the Hood.
The Hood. And that's it.
Oh, man.
I think you're allergic to this movie.
No, I guess I am. But it's, again, it's one of those movies where it's like I don't feel proud watching it, but I actually like it at the same time.
It was 93. It was fun. There was only one other movie that was kind of similar to that. You ever see Rumpelstiltskin? Do you remember that movie?
I believe that the guy that made this movie made the movie Rumpelstiltskin.
I thought you were going to say it's probably the same actor. I'm like, well, there's only about 4 of them out there at that time.
Yeah.
It was probably one of them.
So, I know, and there's another fact that I learned too as I read upon this, is when they came out with Leprechaun, I want to say it's Origins, I think that was the 2014 one.
Yeah.
The new Leprechaun was played by the guy that did Hornswoggle in the WWF. He was the Leprechaun in WWF. Yeah. And he later became known as the illegitimate bastard son of Vince McMahon.
That's a great storyline for me.
It's great facts. Beyond that, I really couldn't tell you much more about the origin of all this movie. But to jump back into the first one, because this is really what we're all here to talk about, is that the Leprechaun gets out. He kills the guy who's, I guess that's pricing out the coin.
If anybody to kill, it kills that guy. He also shows up with the ring on his bike. It's like a little telltale.
Yeah.
He's like the little clown from fuck's that movie. Yeah, Saw. He's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Small, just shows up on the bike.
Excuse my cough. I'm just allergic to this movie. It's that gold.
It's every time we talk about this movie.
I saw the Leprechaun's gold.
No wonder you're uncomfortable watching this movie or talking about it.
But so he winds up going and he attacks Jennifer Aniston and all her entire group. Yeah. And then you remember when he goes into the barn?
Yeah.
And he must have like power tools, and he turns that car into, what is that? Like, it's like a go-kart.
Yeah.
A ring around the rosy, a bucket full of posy. Faster, faster. Ashes, we all fall down.
But it has the ability to flip a truck.
Yeah, he's crafty.
He is.
I mean, he's been around for how many years?
600 something.
600 years. So when he got pulled over and he was in that car, the cop pulled him over.
Oh man, yeah, he was. I really like his character. He creeps the hell out of me, but he's just.
He played a great Leprechaun with his voice. The accent was on. His mannerisms were great. I was like, yeah, if he ever made a creepy...
Because is Warwick Davis Irish? I don't think so. I think he's English.
I literally knew nothing about Warwick Davis until I Googled it, like yesterday. But I think he was English because he was in Willow. And,
he was in Willow.
And I think it said he was from, like, somewhere in the UK.
I didn't even reference Willow when I was first talking about him earlier on, but he... No, he plays the part really well. And I think towards the end, when he starts to get into, like, when he gets on the tricycle and then he gets in the wheelchair and they speed up the film, that always made me really scared too. I remember sleeping on my parents' floor.
Actually, you're being serious. You were really scared of this?
Well, movie? I was 8 years old when this came out. Like, this is scary stuff when you're an 8-year-old.
You were introduced to this before Michael Myers?
Probably around the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we always go to our friend's house as a kid, and
Every year you would watch the Leprechaun.
Their parents would allow them just to rent any movie they wanted, and so they would rent all this stuff.
Do I know this friend? Who is this?
Well, without saying names, it was just down the street of us. But we would watch it during the daytime, and you'd be thinking, "Oh, well, all right, this is fine. I'm fine. I feel good. Yeah. It's daytime. Nothing can get me." And then as soon as night would fall, it would be terrifying. So this has always stuck with me. It's a good March horror movie to watch. Yeah. Similar to a deep winter movie. This is. You're getting out of winter.
Yeah, there's not really much in March that you would associate for like a seasonal horror movie.
No.
I guess this would be it.
Yeah.
Well, you have 5 of them. Or 6 or 7 if you count all the spin-offs.
Yeah.
That weren't part. Now, is there a linear trilogy or do they follow? I have not even... I never saw...
No.
So The Hood like years ago.
So they don't take into account any like... They're not. Yeah, they're not. It's not linear. It's not like
not even number 2 has to be.
I don't even remember. I don't even think they hit on.
I'm watching number 2 when I go home.
Number 2 is good because he gets There's one part where like there's an older guy. I recall this as a kid, but he takes a he gets like a pot of gold out of the guy's stomach. He rips it out of his stomach, and then he gets like a bigger race car than he has in the first one.
Well, the final piece of gold he tried to get out of Ozzy's stomach in the first one.
Yeah,
because he swallowed it.
That's right, he did.
Could have just waited for him to take a shit.
I do.
I'm like, just hang on, little man.
I do like the way in which this movie kind of comes to a head too. It's like, at the end, it's they take the 4-leaf clover,
and the kid shoots it into his mouth.
Right.
And he kind of like melts away, and then of course he just falls into the well.
The well.
And then the match. Right. It kind of ended the way that Mr. O'Grady tried to kill him in the beginning with the match.
Yep.
But then he comes back and you hear his voice. Apparently that wasn't enough to kill him anyway.
Yeah, I don't think there's...
They had to leave the door open for number 2 because they knew this was going to be a blockbuster.
What I don't understand, they don't really explain, but are there more leprechauns in this? Maybe they explain that in the newer ones.
Probably.
Is he the only leprechaun? And are leprechauns truly evil, or they just want their gold, and if they don't have their gold, they're very angry?
Well, I mean, it's how they get their powers. So, I mean, I've been to Ireland once. I'm going again this summer. There's leprechauns everywhere.
Yeah.
You just don't bother them. They won't fuck with you, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, we keep trying to, every year, I think this is probably the 3rd or 4th year that we've done it, we build a leprechaun trap for our kids.
Yeah, Emmy and my kids are on that right now, Emmy and Finn.
Yeah.
They're not really into it, but I'm like, I'll take that over Elf on the Shelf. I want to show them this leprechaun. And like, he's watching you.
Yeah.
I bet they'll get a lot more obedience out of them.
I showed them the scene from Leprechaun 4 in space when he throws the metal plate at the guy's head and flattens it.
Yeah.
And it's comedic. I mean, the kids were cracking up.
But... You should put a little replica size of him.
Excuse me. Jeez. Sorry to my listeners, to our listeners. It's
sorry to all 5 of you. Yeah. You deserve much better than this, especially when we're talking about Leprechaun.
Yeah.
You better not be like this when we're talking about Leprechaun Back to the Hood. A lot of people will be tuning in for that one. No, I enjoyed it. I knew it was a dumb movie, but there were so many dumb movies, especially at that time. I liked it because I hate bad movies that have a really slow, long, suspenseful build-up. Like just get to the fucking point.
Yeah.
Just give us what we want. It was fun. He was funny.
Yeah. I mean, the movie can't be more than an hour.
No, it was an hour. It was an hour and 30 minutes. That was it.
Perfect.
So it got right to the point. It ended. It left the room open for a whole second and third.
Yeah.
That I'll probably watch tonight. Entertaining. It's definitely a cult classic. I would say as far as like little. I didn't mean to say little people, but I was like that genre was always a little scary to people. Just smaller things that could fuck you up.
Yeah, sure.
Like Chucky was the big one, the small doll. Because he always said, I can just pick him up and just toss him.
Right.
Everybody says that. Every time they watch a movie like this, I'm like, oh my God, I would just beat the shit out of that thing if I say it. But there is something creepier. It's kind of like a bad rabid dog.
I mean, look, we're in this dungeon right now, right? There's my
if I saw him running over, I'm like, ew.
Yeah, like you feel a little freaked out.
It's a little creepier when they're that small.
Yeah, I think you're on the defense when this thing's coming at you and
at your legs.
All he wants is
he's got a little knife.
Yeah,
he'll have anything, just cut your legs.
And I think I remember as a kid trying to even now, you just instinctively you want to relate it to or compare it to Child's Play. because they're small.
That's the thing,
right?
Yeah,
and they're not the same movie at all, nor are they the same plot or anything. It's just a small doll, a small person.
Yeah.
But for strictly a St. Patrick's Day type movie, for I think a few laughs, a few scares, it hits the nail right on the head. It's.
It was a good soundtrack too. It was all U2 songs, right?
No. They couldn't afford that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there was no Irish bands in this. No Irish music whatsoever.
So I can tell, and a great story about this is that I actually have the first 4 movies on DVD that I got from Circuit City before I went out of business for $5. That's so each movie cost me $1.25. One of the best deals I've ever had. It's like buy one get one at like the grocery store.
But I could have paid for that with like a fucking satchel of this fake ass gold. They're like, nah, you can just keep it.
That's not fake, dude. That's real gold. I got that from the dollar stores. That's real.
You better get that back, dude. He's coming for you.
Yeah, it's not 99 pieces. It's only 30.
Oh, I guess you wanted me gold.
30 pack. So
it has to be exactly 100 pieces too.
So what do you? I mean, it's weird to talk about this movie on a spooky scale because it's St. Patrick's Day, but where do you gauge this? Is it?
Well, the movie had kind of like a goofy vibe anyway. Like it wasn't trying to be too scary. It wasn't trying to be.
No.
I guess his actual face. If I'm a kid, like you said,
yeah,
I'd be freaked out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, especially back in 1993, that'd be a little freaky.
Yep.
I enjoyed it just because I thought it was entertaining. I was having a few drinks downstairs too, so I'm also watching it on my brand new big TV in my basement.
Right.
So I also have like the green, and I'm enjoying I was just in a good zone when I was watching the movie.
Your Irish heart was just twinkling.
It was. I think there's just something about this month. I just watched this movie nonstop. Just kidding. This is the first time in years I saw it. Well, to go over our meter, there's spookless, which means it just sucked all the way through.
Not too spooky.
Not too spooky.
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 Way too spooky. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was spookless, even though there was nothing scary about it, but I could see why it could be to some people. Yeah. And it was entertaining. It was 1993. It was Jennifer Aniston. It had a few funny scenes, like the chasing in the woods with the cop.
Yeah, I think it's from a nostalgic value.
Yeah, that's really all
it's good. Do they ever have to make another Leprechaun movie? As long as I live?
No, but they made 7 more.
Yeah, they made 7 more since. But so there's obviously a crowd for it. There's a demand for it. Every year you want something a little bit different. Oh, St. Patrick's Day, let's enjoy it. And so
if you're a casual horror fan out there and you're looking for something, you're not really in the mood. I'm like, this is burn through this series in March.
Yeah. Because this movie was 93. It's about 30 years old, this franchise, right?
Yeah.
It had 7 or 8 movies.
And Jennifer Aniston still looks just as good.
That's actually pretty amazing. Yeah, she does.
Yeah. She did not age like the Leprechaun in this movie.
She actually looks better now than she did then.
I don't know how old was she in this movie. She was probably 21. I don't know.
I think Warwick Davis was probably in his 20s.
Friends probably started in, 95? I don't know. Something around there.
Yep.
So this is 93. So yeah. She held up.
Yeah.
But for the Leprechaun standpoint, he was like 600 years old. He looked pretty good too.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a spooky, but not like... I would never watch this at Halloween. And it doesn't fall in the same category as like any other typical spooky movie, but more so strictly for a St. Patrick's Day movie, a scary movie.
Right.
It's spooky in that sense, and it's totally silly and funny, but it's got a way. If you're a kid in between the ages of 6 to I'm gonna say 12, and you catch this on television,
he's got tricks.
You're gonna be scared.
He mimics voices.
Yeah,
he's there's some unique things to him.
Yeah,
you got to give it a watch. I bet they actually remade this. You said in 2018. I only saw it because I was on Plex. I'm like, well, I guess I got to watch that to see what they did with it. In fact, I may watch that one instead. Not too spooky, but fun.
Not too spooky, but fun, yeah.
That was it. I mean, it's 93. If you're like our age or older and you haven't gotten to it, definitely revisit it.
Yeah, no. I enjoyed it, and I think you guys would too. It's just a good movie to catch this time of year.
Yeah, and we'll never talk about the Leprechaun again because I didn't realize this was so traumatizing for you. So
I see. I just start coughing.
He pointed at you and he's that green wave. He only did that magic trick once. Remember in the very beginning?
Well, he didn't have the power.
He tried to close the door.
He didn't have his powers, though.
No, he didn't. He needed me gold.
He needs his gold.
So I think the next time we do a Leprechaun movie, we have to get your brother back out here.
Yeah. Well, we got what? We do one a year. So we have about
I don't think we're going to get another
years
Leprechaun movie in this month.
No, we'll do one a year for the next 8 years.
I'll tell you, if we're still talking about the Leprechaun in 8 years, I'm like, wow, this has been a very successful podcast.
It's been a very successful life if we've been doing that. So,
yeah. So to all the enthusiasts, because there is enthusiasts of this franchise, they're just not that vocal. I think maybe they're just too embarrassed. I don't know. If we ever start a Patreon, I assure you, we will just burn through the rest of them in one episode and just talk about them. So. But no, I'm actually glad we did this because it rebooted my need to watch the others of this franchise. Because you know me, I'm a completionist. I need to watch the full franchise. Sometimes I usually start at the 7th installment of a movie and then work my way back, like The Howling. But I feel like this one I need to go in order.
No, you'll find one that I think you find is your favorite.
Yeah.
You know, the 4th one, I think he gets blown up. He's real big. He gets sent out
So
of space.
he's huge.
And I think either in the hood or back to the hood, he takes a bong rip with some gang leader and then shoves the bong through his stomach.
So there's some unique kills.
There are some unique kills. Things to look forward to.
He broke a neck in this movie. Very Michael Myers of him.
Yeah, I still think the standout kill in that is the pogo stick death.
Apparently, pogo sticks are pointing at the bottom. Like a knife. I don't know.
I still don't think that's how that works, but all right.
All right. Well, I learned a lot from this movie. It was educational. But no, that's it. Thanks for listening. And as a reminder, just slash that subscribe button. Follow us one way or the other. We're putting up some you are the content creator. You're putting up some pretty cool stuff on the IG page.
Yeah. Well, make sure you just comment. Let us know what your favorite movie of the franchise is. We'd love to know that.
Yeah, and if there's somebody who sincerely wants to hear another movie of this franchise, we'll do it. Yeah. We don't care. Yeah, but if somebody says anything,
there's got to be a reason. I can tell you, I've seen the first one. I've seen the second, the third, and the fourth. I've seen it back to the hood, but I don't really remember them.
And this movie's on Roku as well.
Yeah.
I think it's on Roku. It's on a free app. You don't have to pay for this movie.
No, it's not. If you're paying for this, you're getting ripped off.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was still fun. Revisit it. But that's it. So you got a spooky and a not too spooky, which is right where it should be for about 1993.
Yeah. And for a Leprechaun movie. Well, everyone, have a happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. And if you have that gold, just give it back to that goddamn Leprechaun. It's not worth it. The appraisal guy rated at like $500 a piece. You're not going to be rich.
Yeah, with inflation though now,
it's just a shit. It's worth nothing. Just give it back. All right, thanks. We'll talk to you.
Take care, guys.